Producer Chase, this is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm, broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County, about 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro, and the lovely and extremely cold, rolling kind of brown hills of southern middle Tennessee. It's that time of the month where we have David Kitchens, the Bedford County Emergency Management Home and Security Director, in to talk about things going on in public safety. And he got a couple of special guests he's brought in here today. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Yeah, you're right. We got a little green, but now it's frozen green. So
I left.
We'll have that for a little bit.
I left to come to the radio station. I went, man, this kind of reminds me of a balmy day in Alaska. Well, the high would be about 15 in Anchorage. But anyhow, let's talk about who you brought in today, David.
Brought some of our county fire, the county fire chief, Mark Thomas, and his assistant chief, Brian Cantrell. We're going to talk about fire safety today, do's and don'ts, things to do. It's that time of year. We're actually been into it for a little while, but we're getting around the holidays and Christmas trees and plugging all kinds of things up. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and have them talk about what they've seen and what to do about it.
Yeah, there's a question I need to answer before we get started, because you're a career law enforcement guy, and so am I. And They're firemen, right?
Right.
People want to fight us, and they want to hug firemen. What's up with that?
I know, yeah. They get the food, we get the fight. But we've got some good ones here.
Roger that. We got Chief Mark Thomas. Good morning, Chief. How you doing?
Good morning,
Scott. Good to have you in here. And Deputy Chief Assistant Chief Brian Cantrell. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Gentlemen, I know we've had a few fires around the county here lately.
Yes, we have. Hey, before we get started, I want to just give a shout out to all of our public safety people.
Okay, go ahead.
And the hard work that they do behind the scenes. Anytime there's a special event, it's not just a few people that put that together. There's a lot of public safety that have meetings and plan all this stuff out, and we try to plan for worst case scenarios. And luckily enough, everything generally works out pretty good. So, and I'm referring to the event we just had this past Tuesday night.
That thing was huge.
It was beautiful.
It was. We're talking about the Christmas event.
And
Christmas on the Square.
And like I say, we met a couple of months ahead of time planning all this stuff out and making sure we kept everybody safe on that square, and I think we had a good event. But like I say, a lot of people put in a lot of time and work and
make it look seamless, right?
Make it look seamless. And we have to, a lot of times when we think about public safety, we're thinking about fire, EMS, and Sheriff's Department, Police Department. But, there's a lot of people in the background, too, that are public works people.
Absolutely.
Our utility companies,
yep.
Your water departments. I kind of put all them in the same category.
Well, there are times, basically, they're public safety people, too.
That's exactly
Especially
right.
for special events.
Our tow truck operators, so everybody just keep everybody, that does this kind of job in their mind, that they're all out there to help the people.
That's right. And just tag on to what Mark's saying is we have some really wonderful, and you've heard me say it, public safety people here to work with. And when they came up with doing the Christmas on the Square, I put an email out, hey, let's have a meeting, and all of our public safety, county and city, was there. So we have a really good group here. You've heard me say it many times, and I'm glad the chief brought it up, because if you're at that event, and we were all at that event, it just kind of seems like it just happens, right? Well, it doesn't just happen. Right.
There's a lot of planning that goes into it, and obviously all the public safety people work well together here at city, county, state, and sometimes federal to make things happen. And because when you have a large event like that, you can't afford not to have good safety plans. You just can't
exactly
anymore.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something we do here in Bedford County very well.
And it doesn't really matter if it's a fire department's job. You'll see officers, whether it's city, county fire, they all work together to
jump
get
in,
that task done, whatever.
Right.
Even though it may not be their job, they get paid to do that job, but they will complete that task. And I just a shout out to all those people that put forth that effort I've always bragged on them because I see it in the field, and I know y'all do too.
Right, we do.
But the general public doesn't see that a lot of times. So, and I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here.
No, because Chief, you make a good point, because the average public doesn't see it because it went well.
Yeah.
They see it if it goes bad, right?
That's right.
But if it goes well, they don't see it. So I do appreciate you bringing that up and talking about all the folks doing that.
We'll get back on track here.
That's good.
No, it's important. And I did it too. And I will say the public here in Bedford County, and the sheriff and the police chief had talked, Jan Phillips had talked about this a lot over the years. Folks support public safety in this county.
Yes.
A lot of the cities, they don't anymore, but they do here.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all the citizens out there who support all the various branches of public safety here. Now, this is that time of the year where you guys are getting some fires, people are putting up Christmas decorations, lights, people are using space heaters, all that kind of stuff. Why don't y'all talk about a little safety on that?
What we're seeing in the cold weather, and I saw this on the local news channels out of Nashville this week, and it says house fires are the most common during the cold weather months.
Okay.
And that is true.
Makes sense, yeah.
And we see this because people are using portable space heaters, maybe wood heaters, different type of heating methods, and that's a big concern. And if you don't use these items correctly, they can cause problems. And so bring attention to that, this time of year when, you're putting in heat lamps or you're using portable space heaters with...
What's a big no-no with portable space heaters?
No extension cords.
Period,
or
none.
Power strips. And I don't care what kind you buy, they are not rated to plug a heater into a power strip or an extension cord. It's just bad business.
Right. Right, he's exactly right. And don't cover those. If you have a cord, even it's attached to a heater, don't throw a rug over it.
Exactly.
Things like that. It's like, well, they said I couldn't plug it into extension cord, so I'll get it closer here to the wall. But we walked through this area, so I'm going to throw a rug or whatever over it, and that's no too.
Yeah, that's hard because I know a lot of people use space heaters. A lot of offices use space heaters. Not unusual to have those. It's just use them safely, right, guys?
Exactly.
I mean, what about a lot of people have natural gas or propane, and they have little heat exchangers in those furnaces. What do they have to be concerned about there?
Well, carbon monoxide is one issue, and speaking of smoke detectors, the state does have a program where they'll give away free smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors.
Okay.
So the only thing they have to do is call the local fire department, city or county.
Okay.
And we will install those for free.
The only criteria is you got to call.
You have to call.
Doesn't matter who you are, as long as you call.
As long as you call.
And the state is running a little bit behind on the carbon monoxide because of the issues in East Tennessee, so they're working on rebuilding that supply.
Okay. All right. So obviously, folks, you can get that carbon monoxide, that silent killer that comes off your heat exchanger in your furnaces and stuff, and that actually happened to my mother-in-law one time. Her alarm, which I put in there, started going off, and she opened all the windows, and she was fine. But it can happen. It happened in my family.
Yeah, it's advisable to also get your whoever works on your units to service at least once a year. Make
Just
sure
check them out.
Yeah, make sure everything is burning.
Because they can corrode and get leaks in them, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And talking about the space heaters, they say, like we said before, never use an extension cord for these portable space heaters, but check them and make sure that they are functioning correctly. They're not damaged. A lot of them, if you think about probably when we grew up, they were made of metal and pretty tough pieces of heating equipment. But nowadays we're seeing a lot of them made out of plastics, and they can get damaged and not function correctly after they've been damaged. And it's recommended that you never go to sleep with one of these plugged in. And when you leave your home, unplug these units. So keep that in mind, and don't alter them in any way. Most of them have safety switches on them, so if they fall over, they're supposed to cut off. But
yes,
right. The newer ones,
some people, will work on these. I had a little problem with that switch, so I'll just bypass it. Don't ever do that. It's just bad business,
And also, you want to make sure you don't have anything that will burn, combustibles close
nearby.
Close to it. Some of these old wall space heaters that people hadn't used in years may have a piece of furniture
built into the wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a big issue, is making sure anything that may catch fire is 3 to 4 foot away from it.
Now, guys, if somebody wants to get one of those smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors, what's the number to call you guys?
If you're in the county, you can call 931-684-9223. If you live in the city, it's 931-684-6241.
So that's in the city of Shelbyville. And what if you're like War Trace Normandy or whatever?
We'll call the county 9223.
9223.
Yeah, but if you call the wrong department, they'll relay it. They'll get you the
Contact your sheriff's department, police department, EMA, anybody, ambulance service. They'll get you in touch with.
And you guys will actually come out and install it.
Install it for free.
Yep.
We
let's save your life.
We'll ask a few questions. How many you think you need, etc., like that. If you say we need 5 and we determine you need 6 or less than that, we'll put in what we think you need. And some people want them in the kitchen, and we don't put them in the kitchen because that causes a lot of issues.
No, I guess hallways where the bedrooms are, right? That's a biggie.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we found out if you put them in the kitchen, they go off a lot. So what's the first thing you do?
You take the battery out of it.
And it does not work at all.
And remember, this is the cheapest life insurance policy that you can get for free.
Do you guys have examples where you've responded to a fire where the residents told you they got out because they heard the smoke detector going off?
We had one on Monday, matter of fact.
They heard the smoke detector going off?
Detectors going off, woke them up or alerted them. I don't know if they were up prior to that or not.
Right.
Found smoke in the house. And they got out. Nobody was injured.
Folks were all safe. Okay.
That's right.
I mean, those things are very annoying when they go off, right? I mean,
they are.
But the bottom line is they're supposed to be to wake you up, right?
That is correct.
And they do save lives because you guys have seen it.
Yes. And on another smoke detector issue, if there is somebody that's hard of hearing, we do have bed shakers available, which is a device we put in between the mattress of the bed, and it vibrates the bed to alert them when the alarm goes off.
Like an earthquake's happening, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was just fixing to ask about that, but yes, they'd have those too. So
good point. You got shakers that act for like smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detector.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They do both. So, folks, call 684-9223 if you live out outside the city of Shelbyville. If you live in Shelbyville, it's 684-6241. 6241. Thank you. Folks, we're talking to David Kitchens, the director of the Bedford County Emergency Management Agency, and Chief Thomas and Assistant Chief Cantrell from the Bedford County Fire Department. We're going to take a 60-second break and be right back.
For Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool, and triple-stranded pocketed coils give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company. 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Thank you, folks. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County. It's that time of the month where we have David Kitchens, the Bedford County Emergency Management and Home Security Director, in here to talk about various public safety things going on in Bedford County. He's got two special guests today, Bedford County Fire Chief Mark Thomas and Assistant Chief Brian Cantrell, talking about, well, pretty much fire safety, and especially 'tis the season to as folks get cold and doing that sort of thing. What are the safety issues you guys want to talk about?
Well, just bring up a few other things that's kind of statistically. Back in early 2000s and back, they estimated that people had 7 to 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to get out of a house fire once the home caught on fire. That statistic now shows that you have 3 to 4 minutes, and that's because of the materials that we bring into our home.
A lot more combustible?
A lot more combustible.
Okay.
Everything's made out of a petroleum-based or grain-based type material. And we're talking about your furnishings,
right?
Your beds, your couches, your chairs, your carpeting. Everything is more combustible, so you have less time to get out of your home now than you did 15, 20 years ago. And all the oxygen level has to do is drop below 21%. Once it gets down to 17% in your home, you basically go to sleep and you don't have an opportunity to react. And so that's the reason we're saying smoke detectors is a good life-saving tool that don't cost you anything, you know.
Well, Chief Ennis, right? I mean, most of the tragedies and fires start with somebody not burning in the fire necessarily, but they pass out, right?
Yeah,
and then they can't
correct.
get themselves out, right?
And right now, according to the statistics that they've let out, there's been 68 fire deaths in the state of Tennessee so far this year. So,
wow.
and that's
68, man, that's
a high number.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And you know that's tragic not only for the family, but the public safety people have to deal with this, you
Absolutely.
know, and they wear that on their shoulders as well. You know, when our constituents and our customers hurt, we feel the pain just like they do. And what disturbed me more than anything was Tennessee ranks 9th in the nation as being worst on fire deaths, and that
we don't want to be there.
We don't want to be there. You know?
Why do you think that is, Mark?
You know, I don't know.
Is it education or?
I don't know if it's education, because the fire marshal's office, like I say, they got this free smoke detector program.
Right.
They're throwing at it.
For several years now.
For several years,
Yep.
yeah. And
Red Cross, they have
Red
a program.
Cross, exactly, you know, and this could be stopped, you know, if people will just pay better attention as to what they're doing and how they're doing things, you know.
Right.
Thinking a little bit more about safety, and you know, and I get it, you know, things are tough. People will heat and do what they need to do to stay warm, and it is tough out there.
Right.
And in some of these old homes, you know, they got fireplaces or wood-burning stoves, and those things need to be checked, and chimneys need to be checked. The flue pipes need to be checked every year, cleaned out, make sure that you're burning the correct type of wood, and not.
You make a good point, Chief, because I hadn't thought about that, but you can get a fire in your fireplace flume that will catch your house on fire, right?
We had one of those last week in a flue pipe.
Really?
Yeah. Burnt caught fire, and they went up the chase at the.
Yeah, because people think, it's a fireplace. It's supposed to have fire in it. Yep. But you get a lot of creosote, whatever builds up in there.
Yes.
And can catch it, and you get all that smoke back in the house. I mean, smoke damage can be almost as bad as fire damage.
Exactly.
Yeah. And talk about fire safety a little bit more on plans. We do go around to the schools, generally in October, daycares, and try to educate some of the children. But parents need to also get with their kids and make sure they have a fire safety plan. Yep. If something was to happen, where are we going to go? Where are we going to meet? Stuff like that. The kids are getting some of the education in the school, but the parents need to make sure everybody's on the same page and know what to do if an emergency did happen.
Well, that's critical when you guys show up, right? Because you see a house that's fully engulfed, you know, you kind of really need to know if somebody's in that house or not, right?
Exactly.
That is correct. And I'll give you another instance on the fire we had not too long ago. One of the persons started to go back in and try to get a set of car keys. Once you get out, stay out. It's not worth trying to go back in to get a piece of property or anything like that.
Yeah, for a car key. Yeah, I mean, I know there's.
He would have been going to the hospital if he would have went inside.
Yeah, I mean, especially the smoke. I mean, that will tear you up in a heartbeat. I mean, you guys get that every once in a while, right? If you get a little overwhelmed. I mean,
and we have seen people that've gone back in and they don't realize, hey, I don't have shoes on. I'm going back in this house that's on fire. And we've seen, you know, a lot of damage. People with their feet burnt and blisters on their hands where they tried to go back in and get stuff that they thought they had to have. You know, it's not worth that risk. And I would dare say you could talk to these people and they say, I shouldn't have done that.
They've never done it again, right?
Yeah.
But they react to think of things and they react and try to do those things. I'm glad you said that about making a plan. And you know me, I always I'm playing you to death every show we have.
That's what you do, right? That's what you do. That's what you guys do.
Brian's exactly right. Having a plan with your kids, if you have older kids, help with the younger kids or whatever your plan is, meet out and then next to the drive at the mailbox or things like that. Work on those things, do those things. We preach all the time. These guys train too, and when they get out on something, it's automatic. Because they do it all the time. Same thing with getting out of your house or anything like that.
I think a good example of that, David, is the state's required fire drills in schools for.
That's correct.
Probably since you guys been firemen, right?
Exactly.
And how many fire deaths do we get in schools? None, probably, right? Because they practice so much that when it goes off, even the little first graders know what to do, right?
Yes, I just got a text message from one of my volunteer firefighters here.
Okay.
Closed bedroom doors. Very good point.
Okay.
There's been studies done that
what does that do by closing the door?
It keeps a lot of the heat and smoke out. It's kind of like a fire barrier. It's not going to last forever, but it does buy you some time.
Okay.
And there's been studies to prove that if you close your bedroom door, it increases your chances of survival in the fire.
Well, that's like schools, right? The doors in the hallways automatically close when the fire alarm goes off to help keep it segregated to one part of the school, right? Yes. Same concept, right?
Yes.
We appreciate that input from out there, and we appreciate that whoever that is volunteering to help.
I'll give a shout out to Brian Bruce.
Oh, there, Brian Bruce, Mr. Normandy. Thank you, Brian.
And if you could, I know we're seeing a little bit more of electrical vehicles. Talk a little bit about that and homes and things to look out for.
We've seen an uptick in electrical vehicles, and of course my wife's the county clerk, and I've asked her how many are actually in Bedford County, and I don't remember that number, but it was kind of surprising that we have a lot of them in Bedford County.
Right. So they have to register them, and there's a special fee with them, right?
Yeah, they have to pay where they don't buy gas and don't pay the gas tax,
which helps maintain our roads.
Because they're electric. So, but yeah, they are a concern of ours. This lithium battery that they run off of is a concern. Now, a lot of places, like up in New York and stuff, where they have the scooters, and they all use the same type battery. They're just different sizes, and these are in your cell phones. They're in your laptops. No telling how many products they're in your home. Anything that's pretty much rechargeable has a lithium type battery in it.
Correct. And they can cause a fire.
And they can cause a fire.
One of the big issues with those, if your battery's gone dead, instead of buying a name brand battery for $300, you go to Amazon and buy one for $80. Those are the ones that's more dangerous than the name brand ones.
Okay.
Because they are made to charge at a specific rate with a specific charger.
Right.
And if you do have one of these electric vehicles, make sure if you do have to put a charger in, you get a qualified electrician to do so. Make sure it is correct. And also, if anybody
don't hook it up to a 20 amp circuit in your carport.
Make sure everything's correct. And we kind of touched base on this before the show. Is these lithium ion batteries? We all have them in laptops.
Everybody does. Yeah.
Drills, etc. Read the instructions on it. And they said, do not charge unattended. Don't.
You got a drill. You leave it plugged in on your workbench,
so
right?
Ready when you need it.
You got your laptop that stays plugged in probably all the time.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Exactly.
And what you're saying is, if those things become defective, they can actually cause a fire.
Yeah, and what happens in these batteries? They're charging, and they have what they call a thermal runaway, where one cell in that battery will become unoperational and it'll explode, and then it just goes to each cell in that battery, and you're thinking something big, but this is not. These are very small little cells in there, and they just burst into a flame.
Cell phones included.
Yes, cell phones included.
So it's sitting there charging on like a wooden desk.
Yeah.
With a bunch of paperwork.
Yeah.
Oh, there's been several cell phones. People charging overnight, sitting on their nightstand. It's caught fire and caused fire.
And I think people have seen that when they charge their cell phone in their car and they lay it on their seat and they come back and boom, I've got a hole burning.
So I guess the key is, obviously you do have to recharge things, but the key is do it while you're there.
While you're there.
Not unattended is the word, watchword, right?
Yeah.
Unattended.
Or you have a cell phone that's not holding the charge like it used to. It might be time to get a new one.
Probably time for a new one.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't replace batteries anymore, right? You got to buy a new cell phone. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. But these a lot of what we're seeing, these cars that have the big batteries and stuff in them, they catch a fire. It takes 50, 60,000 gallons of water plus to put these things out.
Say that again. 50, 60,000 gallons. How much? And the most you carry on a tanker is 2,000 gallons.
Yeah,
right?
at most, we might have 3,000 gallons there on first alarm. And if we have to start running tankers, if it's in your garage, it's probably you're going to lose everything. If it's sitting out here on the highway, we're probably just going to let it burn till it burns itself out.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize it. They've never really determined when these things burn what all the chemicals are that it puts out into the air. So we're not sure, and we can't risk a person's life on putting this out, and we got to protect the public. And basically, where is that smoke going? Is it going into somebody else's home, a business?
Well, they don't mix well with water anyway, do they?
It takes a lot of it.
Well, I was thinking, I saw when they had one of their flood and hurricane events down in Florida that a big issue for fire departments was all these electric powered vehicles that were getting flooded.
Right.
Exactly.
And, when they get wet.
Yeah, getting wet, burn. Right away. Well, guys, we're almost out of time, as a matter of fact. What else you guys want to talk about? Well, we're going to take as much time as y'all want.
Well, they led into us today with the Christmas parade.
They did.
When's that? This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Starts at 4 o'clock. Give the route, Mark?
It's, we'll line up as normal on Lane Parkway, and it'll come up toward the river bridge, around the square, go down in front of the post office. And I don't use road names because people don't know road names.
No, but they know post office,
post office,
down to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Down to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and all the way down Madison Street, which is
right there. And
crystals and roses
down there, the old handy dandy celebration.
A lot of us remember handy dandy.
Yes, we do.
That's where it ends.
Yes, we do.
And that's the parade actually starts at 4, I think, this time.
That's correct.
And it's it'll probably take an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through it. And
it's one of the largest parades in Middle Tennessee for a town this size, and it's been going on a long time.
And just remember, there's a lot of people on floats throwing out candy, and everybody pay attention to the kids running out in the road to get it, and be safe there. Watch your kids, and everybody have a good time. And like I say, it's amazing that the number of people that turn out for this parade, and it's very entertaining. It's good.
Well, and you guys have, in the parade, I know, David, you follow the end of the parade, and you guys do too. I mean, you'll see the same people, because I've worked it for about 20 years, in the same spot every year. I mean, families, they've got their spot, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Which is really a great tradition.
And when they'll probably start lining up by lunchtime on this Saturday. So anybody that's going down Lane Parkway, where Dairy Queen is, and those businesses down
go slowly.
Go slow.
Go slowly. Kids are dodging.
Also Dover Street.
Dover. It backs all the way up to Dover.
It's going to be up there. I'll just throw this out there on. I think it's Mack Street is Mack. Back. So there's going to be a detour there because they're going to have so many floats this year. They're going to run up Dover Street also. So there'll be a detour at Mack Street to get around that, so we don't have issues with people.
David, I know when you hear the sheriff and the police chief start the parade, you don't even move for like 30 minutes.
That's correct.
At
You're
the
exactly
end of the
right.
You just sit there, right?
That's right. And the weather it's going to be a little chilly, but no.
Well, that didn't stop the turnout at the Christmas event on the square on Tuesday night, because it was like 25 degrees.
Yeah,
and that was a massive.
And
turnout.
Any of our listeners out there that are maybe work at Tyson's, Walmart, DC, some of the distribution places, remind your company that, hey, these roads will be shut down, and how it backs up across the river bridge. So
good point, Chief, because many times especially for the Tyson's folks going over there, because that road will be, you have to go way around.
And I think they change shifts about that time, and it's difficult.
Get to work early.
Yeah, it's hard for them to get to work.
Or find a different route. I mean, you can go a different way, but you got to go way around.
Yeah, and so just like I say, keep in mind that this happens, and it's one time. We get
and
through
folks,
it.
It's a Christmas event.
It is.
You're going to get blocked in traffic for a while.
Just be patient.
Right.
Just be patient. It's Christmas. Enjoy it, because the town here, everybody comes together and has for a long time, and it's a great event. It really is. I appreciate you guys talking about that and bringing it up. Anything else before we sign off today?
I don't have anything else, Mark.
No,
Brian?
No.
Just remember that smoke detector is free. All you got to make is a phone call.
Free installation too.
Free installation.
Be
all
safe.
about saving lives.
Right. Be safe all the holidays.
Enjoy the holidays with your family and be safe. Right.
That's
correct.
Do it. We appreciate you gentlemen coming today. We've been talking to Chief Thomas with the Bedford County Fire Department, Assistant Chief Brian Cantrell, about safety during the whole winter season, the whole year round, quite frankly, but especially now where it's gotten cold and people are using space heaters and heat exchangers and all that kind of stuff. And one more time, if somebody wants a free smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, and they live outside the Shelbyville city limits, to call 684
9223
or in the city of Shelbyville, call their fire department at 684-6241. Roger that. Get your free smoke detector or whatever. And David, we've been talking to David Kitchens as well, the Bedford County Emergency Management and Homeland Security Director. Appreciate everything you and your folks do, David.
Well, thank you.
Keep us safer here.
Well, I've got these guys like this right here. It makes it a whole lot easier.
It really does, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah. And I know folks appreciate everything that you guys do here to keep our folks in Bedford County, in our cities and towns, safe and improve the quality of life here in Bedford County. Folks, we do 11 government or government talk related shows every month. Tune in to WLIJ here at 98.7 and actually listen to the people actually doing the work and serving you out. And appreciate everybody listening in. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, the only locally owned radio station, Bedford County. Until next time.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care. Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Online at kincaidservice.com.